Everyone, welcome to our presentation. It's based on international performance. Well, let me introduce the group members of my group. It will be Sandeep, Ilakia, Nilda, and myself, Karthik. I'll be explaining the introduction as well as the conclusion. Now, let's see what has international performance as regarding to a topic. I'll be discussing about the introduction, followed by the issues and performance management system. Well, the impact of these issues, and we'll also give you the solutions, the best possible outcomes for this international performance. Well, let me start with the introduction of the company. The CEO is Adam Omer. He has the largest supply chain of 50 aircraft to different type of countries. His original base is in Australia, while he operates in 3 other countries, well, Singapore, Vietnam, and China. The parts are produced in China. The assembling is done in Singapore, and it sells in Australia and Vietnam. It has the largest market producers in Australia as well as Vietnam. Well, Revolution Aircraft builds and sells over 20 countries with wide variety of aircraft. Performance management is process of getting highest outcome from different international employees where they put in together. Let's see some critical analysis of international performance. Well, we know what is international performance. A group of employees of different nationals when put together achieving a better outcome. That is international performance. Well, the employees are the one who knows what's happening in the company. Well, the employees are the one who are highly skilled, as well as the great coordination within them leads the best outcome which may be expected by the company. So to achieve this best performance, the international employees must support in every possible way. The company also must support the employees in every possible way it can to achieve the best of the performance. Thank you. I'll hand over to Sandeep for the next, that is issues in performance management system. Thank you.
Hello everyone, as Karthik said that I would be moving on to the issues in performance management and their possible impact on the company's future. These are one of the important factors that a manager or the top management needs to address to its employees, because if the issues are worked upon regularly, the company functioning would be really smooth. So let's go to the points where we focus on the major or the common issues that any multinational organization would face. As you can see, the first point says business moves too quickly for annual goals to remain static. This basically applies to all the MNCs which operate in more than one country. The problem arises when each country goes by the same goal, but they are surrounded by different factors. For example, the company that we are focusing on today operates in various countries like Singapore, Australia, but the conditions or the employee mindset would be different there. So the goals need to be developed, the goals need to be changed slightly catering to the employee needs, because the employee needs to understand or adapt to the situation. So they need not be same throughout the operation. They need to be changed according to the change in the environment. When the goals remain too static and there's a change in any environmental condition, or there's a change in any external environment, for example inflation, we have to redevelop the goals. So the business suffers a bit when the goals remain too static. The second point says people wait too long to give performance feedback. This happens in a major project or an important project where a lot of employees are involved, a lot of top level officials are involved. For example, a manager might have had a problem in a project with the working style or any other issue, but he addresses this problem after the project is done because he takes care of it. but then the issue needs to be addressed then and there, so that there is a development happening within the lower level employees or the subordinates who are putting in all the effort at that point of time. Because when the feedback is given late, it it doesn't have any effect on the employee, because the action has already been taken place. So it's always important to give the performance feedback then and there when the employee is going wrong. The third one says traditional reviews don't help employee grow and develop. Well, basically, this point says that there is a sense of insecurity among employees when the performance review is out, because certain employees who are rated low are demotivated to work. They feel that their contribution to the company is slightly on lower side. Uh, in order to tackle this issue, the management needs to focus on their personal development. Let them know what they are good at, and let them know how well they are doing in the areas that they are good at. The fourth point says ranking and rating reduces engagement and demotivates employee. Basically, ranking and rating reduces engagement and demotivates employee, because the ranking is always done based on the overall company performance. Uh, People believe that the individual performances are not valued as much as the overall company performance. So there needs to be a bigger contribution in of the management in order to reward the performance of individual employees. Because if not done that, the employees feel that they are not valued in an organization. And the last point would be the lack of communication between top level managers, CEO, employees, and the lower level employees. Well, this has been a major problem in most of the companies who have had their issues. There needs to be a smooth communication line between the lower level employee and the middle level employee, as well as the top level employee. Uh, this is an important aspect, because the lower level employee needs to know when and where he needs to reach out if he faces any issue, or if there is anything that he needs to talk about. So these are the main common issues that we are focusing on. The next slide would be of the impact of the performance issue, which would be done by Ellie. Thank you.
Yes, I will be discussing my second point now, which is disconnected from rewards. Issues in performance appraisal lead to dissatisfied staff. If you as a company has issues in your performance management, if you can't assess what your employees are towards the goal, it actually reflects on the rewards. The reward system in a company is very important, and the rewards make the employees work more harder than what it used to be. The motivated employees result in better targets and better goals. So if you don't have actually a good planning of performance, and performance aren't measured, it reflects on the rewards and the employee dissatisfaction.
I'm going to tell you about the solution which could be implemented as a result of the issues that are actually present in the company, and most likely and more specifically, I will tell you more about the solution regarding the lack of communication, which is the main issue we have talked about during that presentation. We have some solutions to face the lack of communication inside the company. So we could face the lack of communication by asking employees on actual feedback. Indeed, when employees feel like they can give a free feedback and that they're listened to, then they'll be happy to come to the manager or come up to the CEO and tell them when they are concerned or when there is actual issues. So a good way to actually realize feedback and get some feedbacks is to implement surveys, for example, or questionnaires, which could be brought to the employees' attention during weekly meeting, monthly meeting, through emails and so on. From an external point of view, we can also ask customers to give some feedback or answer some surveys, and this could be done through emails as well as through the online website. Now, another point that's very important, obviously, is to show the workforce that they are important, that they matter, and that they can rely on the managers. And therefore, if a free relationship is implemented, then they'll feel like they can go to the manager or to the CEO, and then they won't mind when they get the CEO or the manager coming to them to give them some advice or to give them some information or talk about things they have realized. So it will implement a much more positive work atmosphere. Then finally, organize activity around the idea of learning to work together. So yeah, we have seen more and more companies implementing activities during meeting or during seminars, and it's these activities are for goal to show the employees or managers or consultants that they should work together and that it is a key to a better performance overall. Therefore, this is the example we have chosen, and we'll show an example of activity in a meeting that can help employees come to the realization that their own skills and their own specification can actually be very enriching to a group work. And that's why they should work together, even though they are from different department or team. I'm happy to be here today. My name is Nilda Lowenstein, and as most of you know, I'm the HRM consultant for today's meeting. Thank you so much, Mrs. Amara, for having us. So today, guys, I wanted to take that opportunity to talk to you about one of the major issues of the company here, which is the lack of communication, and I'm sure you all have witnessed it in all the different departments, and I'm sure you could use some help. So I thought I would arrange a fun activities, and I'll show you how we can engage with each other. That's the goal of today. So what we're going to do, one by one, I'll come to you individually, and we'll be working on an activity, and then I'll ask for you to redo that activity together. Okay? So that activity you might have heard of. We'll use paper for that activity, so I'll start with you, and then I'll go from left to right, okay? So it's building a bridge. Literally, you're going to have 3 minutes to do so. Any of you have a phone on them?
Yeah.
Yes? So you can count the time, so you can put up 3 minutes. So literally, you're going to have 3 minutes. I'm giving you 10 pieces of papers and asking you to build a bridge. Ready to start? You have 3 minutes to build your bridge, and on it we'll have to make something stand. And if you build a bridge that is resistant, then you've succeeded. Okay?
Yeah.
So when you do so, you've got 3 minutes. Anyway, in that area, you take chairs if you need chairs.
Okay. So I just need to build a bridge using
Exactly.
a paper.
That's right.
Okay.
It needs to be solid enough so that something can stand on top of it and it won't crash.
On top of it, I just need.
As you want. You create it to imagine a bridge
Okay.
that can stand if I put this on top of it.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
of papers I've given you, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go for it.
Yes?
Yes.
Alright, how many minutes has it been? I don't know.
It's 40. It's 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Almost no battery left. I'm gonna have to charge my phone. Okay.
It's 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Okay, so let's see the bridge.
Yeah.
Let's see if you'll survive. Move a little bit. I'm supposed to use a bottle of water, but I was looking for something in the meeting room, and that's what I came up with. So let's see if it survives. Might not be enough. I might have to switch to my other. And it doesn't survive. So no, you failed. Sorry for that.
No worries.
All right. Well, thank you
that.
so much for your participation. All right.
Okay, wasn't that?
Yeah, you have to go down.
Yes.
Hi, Lily. Alright, so same thing to you. I'll give you 10 pieces of papers, and you have to make a bridge that resists the weight of that, okay? So I'll give you 10 pieces of paper.
Yeah, the same technique still, but pretty much
Here you go. 10 pieces of paper. And you've got 3 minutes. Can you put on 3 minutes for us, please? And I will sit down. Alright, 2 more minutes for you. Alright, 2 more minutes for you.
okay. I'm not sure if that works, but if they always try.
Okay, you feel like it's a good idea. Okay.
I think so. I think so. Yes.
Yes? Let's see. Is it going to work? Let's see, guys. It doesn't work.
Oh.
Ooh, good try.
Alright, good try.
Thank
Alright, Sandy, your turn now. And I will give you 10 pieces of papers. And I want you to try to make a bridge. You can use chairs again. I say you don't have to do it the same way. Alright, you have 10 pieces of papers and 3 minutes. Can you put on the 3 minutes for us, please?
Probably it needs the right technique, so I guess.
Do you think you have the right technique?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. you have a minute 40. So just change it a little bit and make it not work.
I'm only getting very
I did
good.
not
Or
make it work.
we can use that method for final.
Yeah.
Put on down, okay.
Oh, come on.
Just do it for 10 more seconds, brother. Just keep reading.
Don't mix up with the other ones. Don't mix up with the other ones.
Okay.
Sorry, these are final.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not doing it.
On the
Can you please check the time, Kati?
Yes.
Yeah.
45 seconds left.
Do you feel like it's convincing? Do you feel like it's gonna work? I've got my doubts. I've got to admit. Do you feel like it's finished?
yeah, it's perfectly standing. So hopefully it works.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to do this.
Oh.
No.
Good
No,
try.
it doesn't work. Good try. Alright guys, now I'm going to ask you to do the same activity but all together, working as a group. And you have the same amount of time, which is 3 minutes, okay? So now I'm going to ask you to do the same activity but all together, working as a group. And you have the same amount of time, which is 3 minutes, okay? So I'll give you the rest of the pieces of paper and I'm going to ask you to take that time to make a bridge, okay?
Yes.
So make sure you take all of these ideas and use them all together to
Yeah.
find a solution, yeah? Missing some, I'll take some from here. Alright guys, here you go. And you have 3 minutes. That way. And you have 3 minutes, good luck to you.
I'm getting ready. Yeah.
Two more minutes, guys. Is it finished already? 1 minute?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes? Alright, let's move a little bit away so I can test that. Are you ready, guys? No?
But then, I don't know. I'm getting
No,
ready.
you can't. Oh, you can't. Okay. You have to cut that out, though.
Yeah.
So it doesn't show.
Cheating.
Okay.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's see this. And it works. Good job, guys. I feel like you've learned from that activity.
Team experience.
Team coordination.
Yeah.
We think the skills together works well.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yes.
see how working together as teams, even though you all have specific and different skills,
Exactly.
can actually be useful when it comes to the overall performance of a company. Yes?
Yes.
So what would be great after today would that each of you go back to the team and actually implement that concept so that they can learn as you did today to work all together, and of course so that the overall performance of the Revolution Aircraft Company increase because of it. Yes? Alright, well thank you so much guys for having me with you today, and I had a great time, and hopefully see you next time.
Thank you.
Speak really fast.
Now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you. Well, coming into conclusion, we know that international performance with well cooperation and teamwork leads to a better outcomes. In this activity, we have seen that teamwork is what everyone wants to do. Teamwork leads to better outcomes, and we saw how teamwork was successful. And in the end, I conclude by saying that overall, international performance must be supported by the company in order to get better outcome, as the employers know what is the best outcome for the company. Thank you, and this is the end of our presentation.